Hey, this is Kat from Red Mountain Shaman, and I share shamanic wisdom through dreams, visions, nature, synchronicities, intuition, channeling, art, music, photography, and shamanic journeys. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that not everybody may be interested in, but I have kind of a big fascination in the Western United States where I live and some connection to Israel because I've been shown some of these things in shamanic journeys. And so the most recent thing I've been shown was this week. I had a shamanic journey, and what I was shown was a bell tower that looked like it was in Mexico. Then I was shown what looked like a charred crash in front of an adobe home. And then I was shown a white and orange koi fish, and they were kind of in the shape of a yin and a yang symbol. And then I was shown a beautiful white unicorn and a sky portal that looked kind of like the rainbow type stuff that we've all been kind of seeing lately. So Moses came forward in this one, and this is what he said. It is time. Let us speak. Let us commune with the force that is God. For I, in my incarnation as Moses, was indeed in communion with the God force, as well as the angels, and in my time of need was guided by them. As your planet is coming down from a heightened sense of enslavement by institutions that seek complete control over humanity, I have come forward as a guide. It is my will that I return in the form of spirit to guide and help those who seek freedom into a new dawn. I carried my people to a new place, a land of milk and honey, as you have seen in your journeys. As I guided my people, so too will you be one of the many guides to help those who care to listen to the messages you bring forth from the higher realms of light. It is in this circle of communion that we come forth out of the darkness and into the light. You have been a guide in many forms, and as the form of the Thunderbird, you led your people to knowledge that was needed for survival. You now come in human form with pieces of your higher self that has the ability to once again lead your tribe into calmer waters. This is one of many shamanic roles as we move toward the task of leadership with protection and an interconnectedness that comes from within. It is the wise soul that releases the ego and the niceties of social norms in order to bring forth past history as well as future visions that in some cases may bring discomfort to the listener. The Thunderbird was a well-known being in Southwest culture, a being who came to the aid of the tribes, my tribes and your tribes. In this circle of communion, you have served as the Thunderbird, and you have received from the Thunderbird. The charred mangle of metal you were shown in front of an adobe home is a metaphor. It has a deeper meaning that I will expound upon. Adobe homes were built in the southwest of Arizona and New Mexico. The bell tower you were shown was situated deep in the hills of Mexico. It is within these two visions that I give you deeper meaning, and that these areas have seen much destruction. Indigenous tribal wisdom was taken over by the Church of Rome. These Catholic bell towers dot the Mexican landscape. This land was once a land of many miracles, miracles that were witnessed by a portion of the 12 tribes. As the church made its way into these communities, the wisdom and miracles began to fade. The charred wreckage in front of the adobe house is indication that the atrocities and the religious hijacked is being purified. Humanity is walking through the valley of fire. The purification is coming to a crescendo. As humanity comes back into balance and connection with the Great Spirit, many will start to see their inner authority, divine abilities, and sacred sovereignty returning as you once again return to the time of miracles. Look to the sky portals to witness the beginning of these miracles returning. Look to the yin and yang energies of the divine feminine and the divine masculine coming back into balance. No more will one gender dominate another, as all comes into harmony and a new way of being. The purity and freedom of the unicorn merges with your soul as you seek out these new ways of being. It is the pure in heart that shall indeed inherit the earth, and so it is. I am Moses, he who leads the oppressed into new waters of uncharted territory. Feel the exhilaration of what is to come for those who are ready to choose liberation of the mind, body, and spirit. Thank you, Moses. So today I'm going to pack in 2 shamanic journeys and 2 channelings into one video because they both seem very related to me. So this next journey, I was in the Grand Canyon. It looked very obvious, and Sitting Bull appeared in a canoe with a lotus on the side of it. So I got in with him, and we were kind of heading down this river at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and then we pulled up to a shore, and it was like he put his hands on this wall and we were able to just go through the wall. And inside the wall, it was almost like a cave, and there was water, and it was like another world. And he showed me these Egyptian hieroglyphs on the wall in this area. And then while we were in this cave-like area with these hieroglyphs, he healed me with this kind of handful of reeds that he kind of like swept over my body. So after he did this healing session with me, I saw a news clip of Kristi Noem in South Dakota, and this is where the Lakota tribe lives. And she was talking about how the Native American reservations there are getting infiltrated with drug cartel because of the open borders, and how the tribes have sued the government a couple times now and are still working with this because their lands have been completely infiltrated with these people. And there's just tons of drugs and crime, and it's just getting worse and worse. So once again, the Native Americans are the ones that are completely getting attacked, and I find that very interesting in context with what Sitting Bull is about to say in this channeling today. So before I get into the channeling, when I saw him appear, he released an eagle from his chest that flew towards me. And this is what he said. My dear friend, Eagle Eye, this name has been bestowed upon you by Spirit, and I also bestow upon you this name as my beloved star family. Some things are remaining hidden until the time is right, but there are many other things that are coming to light and which I can share at this time. As you fly high above the fray and see what others cannot see, there are some who would turn away from truth as they are not ready for it. Others are seeking and filling themselves with as much wisdom as they can hold. It is to these seekers that I speak to. There are many truths coming to light about those who do not extend their hand to care for society, but continue on serving themselves, even when people do not approve. They find ways of getting themselves approved in corrupt manners. The time of cheating is like a runway for an airplane, and this runway only has so much length. The runway for the powerful is running out. Runways on an airfield come to an abrupt end. The tribes are in distress, especially the Lakota, as the government continues to impose suffering on our people with deliberate infiltration of drugs, poverty, unrest, crime, and the continued suppression of our natural way of life and our lands. But I do see an end in sight as humanity begins to open their eyes and see those who are suppressing all of humanity at this time and are rising up to say, no more. We came to America to escape oppression, as other races have come here to escape the same thing, and now all of us are in a perilous situation. The Rainbow Warriors have incarnated at this time, and these warriors represent all colors of the rainbow. They are using their talents and voices to show the way into harmony and peace and prosperity. Abundance has been shrinking, but the time is nearing when you will start to remember your worth and your power. There has been an astounding transfer of wealth to the already wealthy minority on your planet. But I can say that I see reversal of fortune in the near future as the wheel of karma turns, as the cycles of life turn. No longer will this planet be able to hold the frequencies of disparity. What does this mean, you ask? It means that unity consciousness is on the horizon as we come together in tribal councils once again. It means that needless poverty and suffering will start to diminish as the tides begin to turn. All must be seen so that this new consciousness can begin. Deserts will become green as they once were. I heal you with the energy of the reeds from the reed sea as you begin to open yourself to receive. I show you the old language of our people. I carry you in my canoe of awakening. Drift with me down the reed sea, and I will continue to show you miracles as humanity becomes ready for new truths and old stories that will come to light as the proof of history is literally uncovered in due time. Stand guard of all you hold dear. Stand at the ready to shout as the trumpets of angels. The horns of truth shall blow as the false golden idols tumble down. And so it is. I am Sitting Bull, chief of the Lakota Nation, and I remain chief of many chiefs of many councils of life. Aho. Thank you, Sitting Bull. So if you've been listening to these channelings, they say these subtle things that connect Egypt and the 12 tribes of Israel and Jerusalem with the Native Americans and the western half of America. And I've been doing a lot of grid work in this area of the country. I've been all over the place in the western part of the US. And if you go to Nancy Rebecca, a couple people turned me on to her videos and said there was a lot of crossover information. So I went over there, and the first video I see of hers is this blue light returning to Hopi land. And she talks about the Four Corners being kind of like the ground zero in this area of where this light is emanating from. And then she mentions several places in the Southwest, including even just smaller towns and cities, and I had been to just about every single one of them. So that was a really interesting synchronicity. So I also found this week an article about Edward Casey, who was a famous psychic, talking about this same concept and about the Jews migrating to the southwest of the Americas. So I'm going to read a little portion of this article. It says, in his psychic readings, Casey predicted the return of the Jews to their homeland as prophesied in the Bible. Casey said many ancient Jews migrated to the southwestern United States, Mexico, and the Yucatan. There are many interesting parallels between the ancient Israelites and the First Nations of the Americas. For example, the name of the Aztec capital, and I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but Tenochtitlan roughly translates to 5 books of Moses, Atlantis. Casey went so far as to say, based on his readings, the lost tribes of Israel influenced Peru and the Temple of the Yucatan, Mexico. This is not so hard to believe since modern Jews made the desert thrive in Israel on their prophesied return in 1948 and had been doing so, wandering around the world for thousands of years like Celts and Vikings. Casey's readings remain a treasure trove of lost history and prophecy, and you will no doubt enjoy delving into their fascinating revelations. In his own version of modern shamanic trance, Casey provided detail on the Mount Carmel School of Prophets. Edgar Casey said he discovered in trance the Mount Carmel School of Prophets was started by Elijah. The Essene Monastery at Qumran, which produced the Dead Sea Scrolls, already stood around the time of Jesus and is at least hundreds, if not thousands of years old. The Essene Monastery was a self-contained community, similar in design to monasteries later built across Europe, Asia, and North Africa before and after Jesus' death. Perhaps one day an Essene temple will be found near Masada, where ancient Hebrews died like patriots, defending their homeland from Roman occupiers of the place of the Romans named Palestine. The Romans destroyed the Essenes, according to contemporary accounts left by Josephus, Pliny, and Philo. Casey stated in a reading, the Essenes believed in reincarnation, lending credence to the theory. The Essenes were influenced by Eastern ideas, including Zoroastrianism. In On Religion and Psychic Experience, Casey remotely viewed the presence of women at Qumran, which has long been denied by scholars, but grows in grassroots and scholarly intrigue, so much that Casey's claim has proven true by recent archaeological discoveries. So I keep being told by the guides that we're going to have even more archaeological discoveries that are going to help us understand what our true history is, and I really look forward to that coming, and I think it is probably going to come in our lifetime, hopefully. Thank you for being here, and if you enjoy the content I provide on this channel, share it with like-minded people, press like, subscribe, and the notification bell, and check back for my weekly videos. If you're interested in a session with me or would like your own personal channeled message, energy work, oracle readings, and other healing services, please go to my website, Red Mountain Shaman, to learn more. Sending you all love until our next episode. Take care.